Hey everybody, it's Matt Jolly here, coming to you from the Gold Coast in Australia. And today I want to talk about the 4 key areas that you really need to master if you want success in network marketing. Now there's lots of different areas that you need to get good at, but what I've done is I've broken it down into 4 main areas so that then you can start to assess where you're at in each of these 4 areas so that you can go to work on getting better and more proficient and improve your skills in those areas to help you eventually generate more income and have a more successful business. Okay, so let's look at number 1. First one is prospecting. Okay, this is really where everyone starts in their business. Now, when we're looking at prospecting, you've essentially got your existing network. So these are the people that you already have a relationship with who know, like, and trust you. So this is, traditionally when people would do their 100 names list or make a list of all their friends and family to be able to reach out to about their business or products. So this is where everyone starts, really. Now, at some point, you're going to run out of people to talk to within that existing network. That might be a month, it might be 6 months, it might be 12 months, but at some point that's going to happen, and if you don't want to be that person that's going back and continually bugging friends and family over and over again, then what you need to do is start looking at a cold network. So this is where you don't already have a relationship with somebody. So here, this, as I said, is really about building a relationship with a new network. And again, you can do this in person, joining gyms and different special interest groups, or you can do this online through Facebook groups and things like that. So this is your step 1, really, is your existing network and then creating a new network online or in person. But number 1 skill that you need to really master is prospecting. Okay, step number 2, or skill number 2, is marketing. So this is where things get a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. Unfortunately, in section number 1 there's a lot of rejection. Your existing network, 90% of them probably don't necessarily have an interest in your products or your opportunity. Cold market means building relationships with strangers that you're having to reach out to. A lot of rejection happens in this point, and in actual fact, this is probably where 90% of people stop because they're not having the success that they want in their business from just doing this. Step number 2 is marketing, and this is really about the system you have in place to bring people to you so that people are actually reaching out to you. So step number 1 there is excuse my handwriting, but build an audience. So for you to market to somebody, you've got to be able to speak specifically to a target market. So your goal with your marketing is to build an audience, and you do that by providing value and helping to solve problems of that audience. Okay, so step number 2 is value for that audience. Okay, once you've done that, you're providing value, you're solving problems, it then puts you in a position of influence. Now, when you have influence over your audience, then regardless of what you're selling, people are going to be reaching out because they to buy from you because they want to work with you, or because you've provided value and solved problems, they want the products that are solving those problems for them. So step number 1, prospecting, involves reaching out to people, dealing with a fair bit of rejection. Step number 2 involves building an audience, providing value to that audience, and then having influence over that audience. So you're in a position where your audience is actually reaching out to you about your products or about your business opportunity. So this is a really important one, and a lot of people get stuck on number 1. What we really like to focus on here at Matt and Karina is number 2, which is your marketing, because when you can get that dialed in, then you're actually going to have people reaching out to you, and it's a lot better position to be in than just prospecting, where rejection is, majority of the time you're going to have no's and no's and no's. Okay? So that's 2. And also the last point on that is, when you get this right, then it means you don't have to do this. So if you don't enjoy prospecting, then it's time to start getting good at marketing, so that the amount of people reaching out to you means you don't need to go back to this. Let's look at number 3. You need to have a sales process, so that once, from whichever of these avenues, once the people come to you or are interested in what you've got to offer, you then need a sales process to put those people through. So what does that look like? It's your presentation, it's sharing your business opportunity or sharing what your products can do. It's following up. It's having a system that follows up, or that allows you to follow up. Ideally, all of these stuff here that I'm about to talk about, ideally is done on autopilot or automated. Thirdly, overcoming objections. Once somebody comes to you and is interested, then you need to go through and overcome the objections so that you can close the sale, essentially. So these 2 are going to bring people in. Once they're in and have put their hand up as being interested, the next part is to go through a process to get them to actually buy from you or to join your team. Like I said, this process is another area that we really focus on here at Matt and Karina, and is because if you don't get this right, it doesn't matter what you do here. If your systems and processes here don't work, then you're not going to get the customers or the new team members at the end of that. So that's number 3, sales process. Number 4 of the key areas that you need to master in your business is duplication. So duplication is what allows you to create that residual income and really build that asset over time, where it's not just, your income is not just dependent on the work that you do. So duplication means, now this is the big one, is having a system for teaching your team steps 1, 2, and 3. So duplication involves teaching your new person how to prospect, both to their existing network or cold network. It means teaching your new team member about marketing, so how to build an audience, how to create value and influence over that audience. And then the last part is this sales process. Now, ideally, this is all set up for that new team member, but your duplication stage here is teaching them how to go through this process with an interested person. So you've got prospecting, marketing, and a sales process, which is taking people from being interested, converting them to a customer or a new team member. And then this final duplication stage is really teaching somebody new, or teaching your team or your downline how to do each of these 3 steps. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of those 4 key areas in your business. And if you're struggling at the moment and all you're getting is rejection from your existing network, or trying to reach out to people, or becoming spammy on Facebook and all those sorts of things, then what you need to start thinking about is marketing, about building an audience and value and influence so that people start reaching out to you. And once they do, you really want to have a step-by-step process that goes through these key areas in that sales process. Once that happens, you then are able to, with your new team member, duplicate the different things here so that they know what to do to build their business. Hopefully that helps, clears things up, and maybe gives you a bit of an idea of where you need to go to work on. If you're watching this and you're struggling in any of these 4 areas, then I'd love for you to reach out to Karina and I, and we can jump on a quick Zoom, or we can have a chat and see how we might be able to give you some direction and advice, and really work through where you're falling short in your business, and then what you need to work on to really improve that area. Okay guys, hope you got some value out of this. Look forward to chatting to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.